Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, and I'm back to work on this journal. So, I'm sorry, I've got a couple of things ready that I wanted to do. So, this is the box journal. Sorry, this is my Wheatie to keep my knees warm. What I wanted to do was I've finished doing these. So in the previous video, we kind of got stuck into doing these. I was unsure about this one, but I think I'm happy with it now that I've gone away from it and come back to it. This one's not glued in, but that's the picture I'm going to have in there, and that one's going to be a mirror. And they're going to go up here. And I said I wanted it to resemble like a wall, like of a Victorian house, maybe a rundown Victorian house. And that's what I'm going to do today. So, some of the things are, so this is a 3D texture folder from 3D Texture Fades. It's a Tim Holtz 3D embossing folder, and it's wood grain, and it fits. Well, I don't know, it might be just a fraction too small. The whole thing fits, but I think the pattern itself is a little bit too small. But you know, we can we can certainly work with this if we get a couple of sheets of this going. So I've picked something out that I think I might want as the wood grain for the bottom. I'm going to have some kind of a dado rail across this bit, and I've also picked out some things that I maybe want to have at the top. So I might start coughing, by the way, because I've got back having that cough, that urge to cough. And I can't seem to shake it. Anything I can do is keep my voice lubricated, and that kind of helps guard against it. So it's just not going away at the moment. So these are the things that I was thinking. So what I thought was, so these are from my own kits. So this one is from Impasto. What I liked about this is it looks like, you know, there's a bit of wallpaper that's still left on the wall after you've peeled off the other wallpaper, and you know, it's kind of left that this is, you know, the painted wall, etc., or a bit of plaster or whatever. And I thought about having this. You're not going to see all of this because I wanted to also then put maybe another layer or maybe another 2 layers of paper. These are all from Wallpaper, so my kit called Wallpaper. I'll link all of the the Etsy shop below, but I thought about maybe having a couple of extra sheets. This is one that's just a bit bigger and whatever, that one's from Convergence. That's another kit of mine, but we'll come to that shortly. What I want to do is I want to get this bit sorted out. So, excuse me. The thing is, when you live on your own, you think you're going to be fine to do a video, and because you haven't spoken all day. So, and then when you feel fine, and it's when you go to speak that you realise, actually, I can't speak anymore. I thought this was fine, but I thought it was a bit uniform in colour. So what I thought I might do is I might give it a bit of age up and get some colour on it, and then some undulation, and then it might look a bit more like wood that's been around for a while. So I'm just going to play. Don't know what I'm doing, just going to have a play. That's the only thing to do these days, is just give it a go. So I've got various browns. I've got a whole stack of little mini ones here. I can't remember what's in this stack. I can't actually get the stack apart, so that's not going to help, is it? Oh, there you go. That's because it's glued. Oops. Rusty Hinge and Vintage Photo and Brush Corduroy. So I've got all of those except for Rusty Hinge, I believe. So what we'll do is we'll just, I don't know, pick a bit, or maybe work on this bit. We want it to be at least as high. I think that's the right height. Oh my gosh, that is the right height. because if we're going to have like a dado rail or a picture rail across here, we don't want it to be stopping that from opening. So okay, well that was no good, Dave. You have to put it on here so you know roughly how high you want to go. I'm going to go to about there. Let's draw a bit of a. That's not going to help me, is it? It's my Apple Pencil. It's really not going to work on in this situation. I'll give it a bit of an eyeball of a. Well, it's a bit more of an eyeball, more than an eyeball, but it's about there that I'm going to. I'm using the grid lines as a guide. So, and we want to just kind of make this a bit more colours on it. So, and I know that it's brown, and it's brown on brown, and you're really not going to see very much. I didn't want to put it, I didn't want to stick it in ink. I didn't want it to be a wet ink, if you know what I mean, because the problem with that is it makes the cardboard wrinkly. So I just thought I'll give it a play, and I'm going to go over it a few times with some different colours, so that it gets that, you know, wood isn't one colour. Even when you've painted it, it doesn't look one colour. That's the fun bit about wood, is it looks very natural. It's not perfect. So I'm just going to put some colour on it. I don't care really what I'm doing here, but again, some of these colours you might not even see, so you might think it's a waste of time, but you know what, it's all about the build-up of the colours. So I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to go the other way, because obviously the wood grain goes the other way. But I'm just going to put a few undulations in like this. And also making it, what I'm doing is I'm making the excuse me, the cardboard a bit wet, and that's great for embossing, because these have got like what's it called, like glycerin in, and glycerin's great for retaining moisture. That's why they you know, they continue to move after you've applied them. They don't dry instantly. Like I say, glycerin is really good for that, retaining moisture, and moisture is your best friend when it comes to embossing. You want the fibres to be malleable. Get me with my big words, malleable. And all kind of helps with the bending of fibres, etc. Like I say, I haven't done this before, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just doing because we play, aren't we? Don't we? We are crafters. We give everything a go, and we see what happens. Okay, so let's get some brush corduroy on it. Just going for all of the browns, basically. I don't want it to be any other colour. I thought about having like a white wood panel, but that's very modern. Old-fashioned old houses and things had very, very dark wood, and dark, almost oppressive wallpapers as well. So I thought I'd kind of try and retain that kind of look of aged wood, well, not just aged wood, but of wood from yesteryear, from yesteryear's fashions. It was very fashionable to have very dark, well, it certainly was in the UK, to have very dark parlours and that sort of thing, and that's really what I'm trying to create, is that kind of look of a parlour on the front. Because I'm going to, sorry, I use a lot of brush corduroy. I like the colour of that. It's got like a bit of an orangey, almost greeny tinge to it. Same with gathered twig, wherever that is. I've used gathered twig. Yeah, that's got a bit of a greeny tinge to it. Like I say, I'm going to go this way. And by the way, I'm using this as a piece of American cardstock, which apparently American cardstock doesn't exist anymore. But I'm not using the really textured side. I'm using the smoother side. It does have a bit of a linen feel to it, but it's less textured on this side. Oh, it's just a personal preference, you know. And I couldn't say to you, you'd be able to tell that I'd used what particular colours I'd used, but I'm hoping it's getting a bit more an uneven surface. I don't think I'm going to use the very edges, because I think that the edges don't, you know, that's where you kind of hold on to it and you take a bit of the colour off every time you hold on to it. Let's get some walnut stain, crusty walnuts or whatever it's called. Oh, by the way, so if Joe, if you're watching, by the way, Joe Thornton Cousins, I received your Christmas card, but I received it, what day is it today? It's Sunday today. It's received it yesterday, so thank you so much. Please don't think I've been ignoring you. It's just I hadn't had it, and I'm really sorry. I don't send Christmas cards because I just don't get around to it. Honestly, since having come down with this COVID again, it's been really difficult. I found it really hard to catch up on my YouTube watching, on the comments, on the likes. I try to always interact with people, and I've kind of fallen behind. Well, I fell behind when I was really busy at work, and then I thought the Christmas period would be an ideal time to do it. I just haven't had the opportunity. So I'm really sorry. I'm not being ignorant. I'm not ignoring people, and I really do value everybody's support and love and kindness. I just have had so much going on, and honestly, the fatigue, I cannot tell you how much fatigue I've suffered with, and my skin is so terrible. I've got, apparently, I mean, like, you know, I was having a look, like you do. I was googling the symptoms. Apparently, it's quite often linked to COVID these days. Is having dermatological, don't ask me how to say that, issues. Quite a common thing, and I couldn't say why. I obviously want bits that are a bit darker, and I'm just gonna get a bit more fussy about how I colour it now. Yeah, so I think I told you in the last video, I've got like from where my eye had an eye infection under my eye, I've had a row of spots. I've had a massive, like, what's it? Not ulcer. What's the other word? I don't know. A really hard lump on my right cheekbone, and then right next to it another hardish lump, and I've had it in my left eyebrow, and I started to think maybe I'd got shingles, but it's not been itchy, and it's not been causing me any issues in any other way. So I think maybe it's just maybe the lack of oxygen to my skin or whatever as a result of this horrible COVID. I really, honestly, I think people think it's a bit like of a, it's, you know, it's just like having a cough or a cold, it'll be fine. And actually, I really honestly tell you, please be a bit more guarded about getting it because it's really horrible, and I would pay millions. I'd give somebody both my kidneys. I know I couldn't live if I did that, but I'd give somebody both my kidneys to just stop this feeling of needing to cough. So can't really see it very much, but I definitely can see some more of a undulated pattern. Let's put a bit, because I haven't done any of this. Well, because I haven't put a layer of this. This is my old one as well, by the way. This is the one that I don't mind mixing. Haven't used any of this on this direction, so just don't want anybody to feel left out. Sorry for coughing. I realise it annoys lots of people. I've had a couple of people say so, but I honestly, I'm not doing it because I want to. If I could stop, I definitely would. Right, okay, well it's definitely a different colour. You can see it's a different colour now. So I need to get my, you know when you've tidied up and you think, where on earth have I put things now? I do have, somewhere, I have my Cricut. Oh, it's there. My Cuttlebug, not my Cricut, sorry. And I'm going to just, I can't see where my pencil line is, so I'm just going to cut up here. Hopefully that's enough. If it isn't, we'll soon find out. So. And I'm going to get my, I never know which board it is, and just, it's a random, just sorry, I feel like I need to cough again. No, it's not that, because that's too clean. That one, I think it's just that one and that one. Oh no, there's a under one, isn't there? Maybe that. Or is that, I think this is because this one's a thicker one. I don't need as much. Okay, let's do this, Dave. Is that the right way around? It is. Hang on, which way? That's going to push it up. That's fine, I think. So I wasn't going to use the very edge, was I? And what am I doing? Yeah, it's that and that, isn't it? Oh, hang on. I need to cut this bit off, otherwise that's not going to work, Dave. That and that in there. That. I think then it'll go through. I hope it goes through anyway, because I've definitely used this before, but that feels very, very tight. Okay, so something's got to go. Maybe not that one. Maybe it's just that. Oh, that feels still quite tight, but actually the right kind of tight. And then just go back again. Yeah, the other sandwich was way too thick. It's getting greedy with my sandwich. Oh, there you go. Cool, that's that one. Let's do this again then. There. A bit off. Oh. Lost your sandwich, Dave. Nobody ever wants to lose the sandwich. I don't want to lose my sandwich. Oh. That one, and then we're going to put this through as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put it so that it's a bit kind of in the middle, I think. it is way up. Or should we put it that way? Let's do that way. And then it's going to be a different... It's going to be an outie, not an innie, I think. I don't know. I can never work out which way the embossing folder works. So. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So that's it just makes it look like a different piece of wood, doesn't it? Because it's now sticking out rather than going in. Okay, so move those out of the way. Thank you, you've been very useful. Cuttlebug, you can go back to from whence you came, under my desk. But don't take my microphone wire with you. Sorry. Don't worry, when I run out of that, I've got water. So it's not just the Pepsi Max that's going to get me alive. So let's move those out of the way. So now we've got something that kind of resembles panelling. We just need to cut it down. Let's use a blade rather than a pair of scissors. We'll put that right up to there. My blade. Cut that off. Get much straighter edge doing it that way on. Especially anybody that's ever seen me try to cut anything straight, it doesn't work. So again, right up to there, cut it off. So today is Sunday the 8th of January. Can't believe it's the 8th of January already. I spent yesterday with Brian. We went to Fat Club, and then we went for a mooch around some charity shops, and then we went to supermarket, and then we came back here and we had food. We had food together, and we watched a bit of telly. We decided we were kind of, it's a bit like my creative director. He was kind of saying what we should do with the new kits, because I've got some more kits that are going to come out soon, which and what order we're going to release them in. There's about 15 new kits coming out. And then he was showing me what he's been making with one of the new kits that it's not even been released to my design team yet. Brian gets exclusive first hand access because, well, he's been very good to me. It's like he's a prolific journal maker as well, and he loves to make journals, and he absolutely loves to showcase the kits. A lot of the kits are designed around what he says that he'd like to see, so it's his fault. Not all of them. Please don't get me wrong. It's not that he has the final say. The final countdown. Shh. Oh look, it would be like that, wouldn't it? It's going to be just a little bit off. Maybe I should curve that round into there, and then have a bigger piece there. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know whether I'm going to use that particular piece. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. If I do it like that. Yeah, cool. Okay, so I might as well stick it down. I know what I'm doing, so which one shall I use? I don't know which one to use, but I'll use this one for now, and if it doesn't stick, I'll blame everybody else. No, it's alright, won't blame you. So I'm just going to stick this bit first, the bit that curls under, because that's the important bit to get stuck down. Worcester, by the way, is on the bed, so I'm in the craft studio, and it's the spare room. Well, it used to be the spare room. It's no longer the spare room. There's no way anybody's going to be able to stay in here. Well, they can light the desk. They can't. It's this bit is all you can see, really, of the desk. But yeah, he's in the other room, so he's snuggled up on the bed. He's been having a snuggle downstairs with me while I've been catching up and watching some programs that I wanted to re-watch. Strange New Worlds. I'm a sci-fi and Star Trek fan, so I've been watching Strange New Worlds again on Paramount Plus. I've been watching that, so he's been snuggled up with me. He's a Star Trek dog, so I don't know whether he likes it, but he's quite happy to sleep next to me while I'm watching it, so I can't cough now. I've got no time. I need to get the glue on here, so there is no time to cough. I'm sorry. I'll have to cough off. I don't want to press it down because obviously I don't want to lose the texture of the wood. And I think when it dries, it'll dry with a bit more definition to the different colours, but you know, at the end of the day, I like it. I like the way it looks. That's all that really matters. So, what do I want to do? Do I want to put that piece on, or do I want to put that piece on, Dave? I think I'm going to put this piece on. I'm going to cut it down here. About there. And then I'm going to butt that bit up to there. Yep, that's what I am going to do, and I'm going to curve that bit round there, and that's absolutely wonderful, hunky-dory, absolutely gorgeous. Again, like I say, so sorry, can't help it. It's very irritating. Literally, it's an irritating cough, but it's very irritating for me. And it's really difficult because it kind of takes the wind out your sails, because everything trying to speak is a real effort. And obviously, if I'm doing a craft video, I need to be able to speak. Oh, Dave, let's go for the full. It'll be much easier if you put all of that on as well, rather than trying to put that on afterwards. So I'm back at work tomorrow. I haven't been back to work since the 23rd of December. Because broke up the day before Christmas Eve, because we only work Monday to Friday, so Christmas Eve fell on Saturday, so we worked the 23rd. I've been in to work since then. I've been to go and do some site visits and make sure that the place is okay and hasn't burnt down and all of that. But I have not officially been in since then, so like it's going to be very weird going back and actually speaking to people. And also, you know, is it too late to say Happy New Year to people? Because, you know, it's been the new year for, you know, it'll be 9 days by the time I go in tomorrow. How long do you get away with saying Happy New Year to somebody? Right, so maybe I should put like a like a skirting board, or well, we call it a skirting board in the UK. I know that I can't remember what you guys in America call it, but we would call it a skirting board. Baseboard, is that what you call it? The board that meets the floor at the bottom. Well, that wasn't a very straight line, was it, Dave? No, it wasn't. It was a terrible line, Dave. Well, you know, I don't like to I don't like to get it right every time. It'd get embarrassing, wouldn't it, if I was perfect all the time. If I was perfect any of the time. Be a miracle, really. But no, let's neaten that up, Dave, because I can't leave that like that. Well, let's make it worse. Let's make it look worse, Dave. Oh, if you insist. Now it looks like I've got dry rot, so... Yeah, we'll put that on there, I think. I want to make it a bit... Perhaps I'm putting too much into this, maybe, now. I want to make it... What I wanted to do was I wanted to make it a bit deeper. Which I'm going to do. Because I like it to be perfect. Right, and before I'm going to do that, I'm going to put this on. Because... just speaking is enough to make me cough. So... Speaking whilst trying to cut some grey board is going to make me cough even more. So, okay, so let's cut some of this down. So I wanted to have I think maybe half of that. Let's put it in here and see if we can cut it. Well, at least put a line on it that way. No, of course we can't, because that's way too big. Cut that bit off. Right, it fits in there now. Made it fit, probably doesn't fit that anymore. I'm going to get this very straight, am I? Sorry, I'm resisting the temptation to cough. It's not easy to resist temptation to cough, but I'm doing it. Oh, there you go. I'll just cut through that now. That was a much safer way of doing it, rather than trying to hold a piece of this and cut it. Of course, now I can't see a thing because my glasses have steamed up. Because I've got a mask on. But I mean, those days, they're still with us. I struggled all through the pandemic with wearing glasses and them steaming up, and so right, I'm going to cut this bit off here and wrap that round the wood, the skirting board thing. There's a line there isn't there? Like a divide line. Is that going to be too narrow now? That should be alright. Stick that on there. Yeah, I know. I'm probably, like I say, I'm probably putting way too much into that. Oh, no, we need to make it the right length, Dave. Don't just do it. No balls in China shop here. Let's try a bit more of an idea of where we're going to put the line. Let's cut it off there, or maybe just use a pair of scissors. Quite like the way the scissors do it, actually, because they squash the fibres down so it rolls the edge a bit more. fact, I'm going to file that bit. Oh. Let's get my sanding stuff. This is tempting fate, isn't it? Like sanding stuff, Dave, with your chest. Let's see how good the this mask is, shall we? Okay, so just round. I want to round that edge off a little. Don't bend the board. So that, oh, there you go, perfect. Actually, it rounds off at the edge. Can you see now? It's got a rounded edge. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see what you can see. Should do my fingernails later. Yeah, I'm going to put that on there. Right. Okay, where's the piece of... That's the piece, wasn't it? Is it that piece? Yeah, that's it. It's that way around as well. Oh, is it that piece? Yeah, no, it is. It is, Dave. I'm just going to press some of the pattern out of it to make it easier to wrap around the board. Right, I'm going to ink the board rather than... Sorry, ink. I'm going to glue the board rather than the paper. I'm going to put a bit of glue down the edge there. Let's put this on. Let's just smooth some of that out. It's turning into a bit of a mini diorama, isn't it? Well, a mini diorama, that's what a diorama is, Dave. Mini. But it's turning into a bit of a diorama. It's not turning into a bit of a diabolical. Well, at least I hope it isn't. So what I'm going to do is get that off my fingers, so I don't get it all over the front of it. And then I'm going to use the board to kind of roll it round. Hopefully keep it on the front edge. Problem is the paper's drying out now. You know how I was using the fact that it was wetted from the ink that we used on it, and now it's drying out, so okay, so the other thing I want to do is snip that off there and on there. That's the very end. And roll this bit round, holding it on the board so it doesn't crack too much. I'm sure there was you might have had a much easier way of doing this, but guess what? I did it my way. And now the end. Oh, blimey, the end isn't here. So I face my final curtain. I don't have curtains, I've got blinds, so boom. Mere awake. Well, I'm not. Well, I am. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm at work. Back at work. Shut up, Dave. We just established that. And we're going to wrap that round there, and hopefully, when it's in the ends, then you probably won't actually be able to tell that I've rounded the edges. So I don't know why I bothered. I know they're there, and you know that they're there. So that's all that matters, isn't it? We know that it was there. It was the attention to detail that nobody notices. That's why we do what we do. Right. Get your fingers off the front, Dave. Well, I've kind of peeled a bit of the paint off the end, but that's a paint of the board, but it looks now like it's got a bit of peeled paint. Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that. That's looking good. Right. This bottom edge is now going to be just a random colour. Oh no, that's there. I was looking for that. So I'm just going to ink that edge so it doesn't stand out so much. Not black, not that, not that. Getting progressively darker. There we go. I'll go for the ground espresso. Put some of that on that very bottom edge, and also a little bit so you can see a little bit on that edge, like you would get the dirt gathering at the bottom edge of your skirting board over time where it meets the floor. See, this is my problem. Way too much attention to detail. Stuff you don't even need to know or won't even see. Might put a little bit more on that little bit of area where it not just on that bottom edge, makes it look a bit more grounded that way, I think. I'm going to put a tiny bit on, maybe a bit on that bit where I pulled it off, the surface. There we go. Yep, that's fine. So that's going to go on there, like that. Possibly could have been a little bit longer, but you know, it's okay. It'll do the job. I'm just going to stick it down now. Do you know something? This mask is actually it's helping me quite a bit, because it's the moisture in my own breath is coming back into my lungs, and my lungs don't feel quite so dry, so I don't feel like the need to hack like I was. So we need to make a very similar sort of thing for this top edge, but I won't bother until I've put the wallpaper on. You know, you've got to wait until you finish decorating. But I'm liking that. I've got to say, and maybe, you know, and I'm going to keep this because that will make a great dado rail. But now let's have a look at doing this top bit here. So I'm just going to drop my mask down. Oh, we'll actually take it off. Oh no, take my glasses off at the same time. There we go. Cool. So let's have a look. So like I say, what I wanted to do was have put some of this on the top here and have it. I want to kind of have it so whatever layers I put on next, I want to have them a bit torn, a bit peeling, so you can kind of see the other stuff, some of the other stuff underneath. I know I've met me. I know that maybe this is too much detail, but I have to do what my brain wants me to do. Who am I to ignore it? Okay, which way is the best way? That's not long enough, and this way, maybe do that, and then I'm going to get a bit here and a bit up that corner, so I can peel the corner and I can peel this bottom edge, or in fact I could peel a line. So the next bit I put on, maybe I'm going to go for complete attention to detail and have it look like it's like wallpaper, you know. Yeah, you know what I mean. No, you don't. You've got no idea of it. Like strips of it, that's what I mean. So I'm going to put that so it sits over that edge. I'm going to put that so it sits over that edge, and then all the rest of it can get cut off. And I want to know the top edge as well. I'm just going to overcut have too much of it. And I'll get rid of the jaggy edge in a second. In fact, if I use my nice scissors, I can do that in a nice smooth cut. Oh, look at that, that's much better. Rather than hacking at it. Get that bit off there. And then I'm going to, well, let's kind of get it in the right place first. So this first layer really just needs to go on. I'm not going to worry too much about this first layer. We're just going to get it on and stuck down. You're not going to see these bits because they're going to get covered in that ribbon, maybe. Still, if it's still like the thing that I'm going for. This is when you realise that was off. Yeah, that was a little bit off. Never mind. It's all fixable. So, because it's such a big surface area, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Xyron it. Xyron out. And just completely sticky this. Hopefully that'll all go in there. Oh, it's a little bit tight. A little bit tight that way, but we don't need all of that anyway, so I'm going to go snippy snip. Snippy snip. That goes in now, doesn't it? Does it? It does. It do. I'm happy. Bish bash bosh, I'm happy. Right. It sticks out on over the edge anyway a little bit, so put that back in there. I feel all organised now. I've got places to stick these things. Oh, never mind. It looks like it's cracking the plaster now. Where's my thing? This is what I'm looking for. Smooth that completely over. That should be able to create a nice bond. It's kind of bonded up to where, just past that crease where it bends around the top of the papers, and that bit hasn't got any ink, any glue on it, but that's not a problem. Just doing this, all that does is it breaks the line of glue and stops it leaving that kind of tacky edge. Nobody likes a tacky edge. And that's all the fluff that was the Xyron picked up since last time I used it, from being hanging out under my desk. I think it was also as a result of the tidy up as well. There was a lot of stuff thrown into the air, like not just like thrown into the air. I don't mean ha. I mean there was a lot of dirt thrown into the air. Keep your fingers away from the main part of it, Dave, but don't let it completely roll up on itself. There we go. Right. Just going to turn it around because it gives me a better opportunity to get a bit more precision. Right, so oh well, it's stuck down now. It's going to stay there. That's the thing with Xyron. Once it's down, it's staying there. Cool. Okay, so let's put the sides. Let's cut get this bit into this here where the corner is. There's the corner there. The corner on this one is there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just snip that bit out. Snip that bit out. That bit. Pick all those bits up because they'll get sticky and they'll end up being stuck to my elbow or something, or my face. Let's face it. Let's face it. Haha. I didn't mean that to be funny. But let's face it. I have enough problems going on with my face. I don't need any more. Thank you. Thanks very much and all that. Good show. So I know that. Oh no, Dave, can't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Dave. Dave, don't do that. No. Just realised this is a box that opens. It's got a lid, Dave. You cannot just glue it down. Let's see if we can get it off now. Oh, please, 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 please. Oh, I love you forever. Da, da, da. You see, this is the whole point of this. Is it's supposed to be a box to open. So we can go up to that point, and up to that point we might then have to, what should we do with that edge? Maybe if we tear it, we have it a little bit wavy, it'll blend in with the, this is crafting on the hoof, thinking on your feet and all that. It'll fit in then hopefully with collage, especially if I ink that edge. And then that will look like it was part of it. It was meant to be there. We will know otherwise, but hey. Let's go for dark colour. Put that along this edge. Up to there. That's fine, just tear that little corner out. Stick that around there. Okay, so hopefully that will now blend in a bit more and look like it was supposed to be there. Oh yeah, it's fine. See, happy accidents and all that. Okay, you've done the same thing on this side, Dave, because you stupidly grabbed the box like that, but there you go. And now we can just do the same here, tear this bit down. Or can we? Sorry, I might be off camera a bit. Yep, cool. Okay, we're going to ink that edge again. Get that a bit more on there. This is what you get for being too... I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I never know whether it's a blessing or a curse, having it being too... me being too literal on things. You know, I have to have a story. There has to be a backstory to everything. And this bit here can actually just get stuck round there. And I know that I said about paper getting weakened, but I'm not worried about the paper. I've got it's not going to be performing as a hinge. It's just going to be there as a decorative piece. So it's not even a decorative piece. It's just finishing the look. So Never even thought about it in a box. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous. It's ridic. Right, okay, I need to hold it down. Now, I'm hoping, because these have been around for a while, I'm hoping that this elastic band doesn't give up on me and twang and take my eye out. But this is going to be my pair of hands that I don't have to hold that piece of paper stuck down. There we go. Got to remember to take that off again without twanging it and getting it in my eye. Okay, so that's the first layer of the top half. Okay, so what I thought is, let's have a see now. Thought about maybe having, you want something that's quite obvious as a different thing. So I don't think that is right. I think that's too big. I think the pattern's too big. I'm not worried about it not being big enough. Oh, yeah, there's two here. I think, I don't know. I think I might go for that one. Oh, I don't know. This is the problem. Or do we go for that and then that? It needs to be very obviously. No, let's go for that and then that maybe. No, let's go for that and then that. Yeah. Okay. It's not going to be quite long enough, although I think I might have, as part of the dado rail, I might have part of it stuck on here and part of it on here, so I'm not really going to worry too much about the, because it's, like I say, it's not quite long enough this way. I wondered what that was. My wheat bag falling off my knee. So do I want to go there or there, or I want it to be darker, I think. Or maybe go for something in the middle. Right, let's do something in the middle. So we're going to go there. Let's try and make it a little bit straight though, Dave. There. And there. And then I'm just going to cut off either side of there, roughly. Like I say, this one's from the wallpaper kit, which is ironic really, because I'm using it as wallpaper. Maybe that's why I chose it, because it's so good at being wallpaper. So yeah, I want to now make it so that it's the right length. So I'm going to fold that edge in. Try and make that straight, Dave. So if that goes to there, and then this bit goes to here. So it's sort of turning, like I say, it's sort of turning into a bit of a diorama now. So not a diadrama, so that's all right. No dramas, no drama llama either. Okay. And then who's going to think I'm mad if I make it so that it's actually strips of wallpaper? Who's going to think I'm mad? I'm going to think I'm mad. You're going to think I'm mad. I'm going to think I'm mad. We're all going to think I'm mad. But you know, something my brain's saying, you've got to do it, Dave. So, and who am I to argue with my brain? I'm going to cut that bit off there. I'll flip it round and I'm going to cut the other bit off. And hopefully it'll still be the right size. Put that down, otherwise that's bound to fall down and chop my finger off in mid craft. Oh, it's still a little bit big, isn't it? Right. Yeah, it needs a fraction off. Actually, it needs that bit off. That top bit there, but not the bottom bit. Did I actually cut anything off? Oh, I did. Thinking I was just like cutting air there. Air there. There with your air there. No, it's still a little bit big. About a millimetre or so. It's too much. This is too much, bearing in mind you're not even going to see half of this. But, you know, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. This is why I don't actually wallpaper. Because it would take me 6 years to actually get any wallpaper on the wall, because I'd be cutting it to perfection. Right, yeah. So what would look right? So should I want it to be a little bit off centre, and I think I'm going to go for a cut, something like that. I know this is very random and weird and all of that, but we have met. You do know me by now. I am a little bit random and a little bit weird. Am I happy with that proportionately? I don't want it to be half. I want it to be... Yeah, we'll do that. There we go, those are our strips of wallpaper. Oh, you know, if I hadn't have done that, I could have actually cut to the next piece of paper to be the same size, but that horse is bolted. So we're going to put this on here, and we're going to put this on here, and there's going to be a definite butting up, and we want that because we want it to look like wallpaper. But I'm going to have it so that it's kind of a bit... Again, too much information, too much detail. Possibly this is when I should say, right, okay, let's make it another video, because it's gonna, yeah, let's turn this into a completely different video. That allows me two things. It allows me to go and get a proper drink, go and get something to eat, so that I can feel like I want to cough all the time. It allows me to go and pay a visit and put some relief on my bladder, and it means I can walk the dog, and then I shall come back and I'll carry on doing this, and for you it'll be a different day, and for me it'll be the same day. So I might have cut that in the meantime though. Right, yeah, I can't cough one more time without wetting myself, so I'm going to have to go. So yeah, so that's where we are now. So remember, we're going to be making this into some kind of wallpaper, but remember, we're going to have more than one layer, so you can see the other layer through. Probably too much information, stuff that you're not actually going to see, but you know, that's what we're going to go for. Oh, did you notice I put a face in that one? So anyway, that's how it's going to start to shape up. So you better shape up. So I'm off. Thinking about maybe having a wooden bit down here, as though to delineate a separation. Whoa! Yeah, things are throwing themselves at me now. Time to go. To make it into maybe having another room. Anyway, I don't know. So let's do that again at some other time. Right, all right, you have a great morning, evening or afternoon, or whatever time it is with you. Don't forget to give this a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, all of that. Subscribe buttons down here now, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will see you all very soon. Sorry about the coughing, by the way. All right then, folks, love you all. Lots of kisses, lots of hugs, and remember, I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye. Bye.